All right. It is Tuesday night. And Tuesday night is Conversations with Jared and Marquita. Y'all jump on in here. Jump on in here. All right, here. Let me let a couple of y'all get in. Y'all jump on in here. I'm going to share it. That'll be good. That when you come in, you share it as well. Patricia, what's going on? Y'all get on in here. Arlene, hey. Listen, it's going to be a real good topic tonight. I'm excited about the topic. I don't know where it's going to go, but we're going to talk about it tonight. All right, I'm going to interrupt this real quick and clean the lens to make sure it's clean. All right, bet. Okay. All right, dope. Here we go. Y'all come on in. Matter of fact, go ahead and share it. Share it now so some of your friends can watch with you and join in on the conversation. So it's International Women's Day. So happy International Women's Day to all of you very incredible women. No, I haven't. All right. Let's go. Let's go. Waiting on Lady M to come on in. What's up, everybody? How's everybody doing? I mean, y'all having a good day? It's been raining here. What's up, Jessica? Hope everybody's having a good day. Happy International Women's Day. What's up, Larry? What up, Larry? So Larry's gonna be with us this weekend. What's up, Larry?
Hello. Good evening. Happy Taco Tuesday. Happy National Women's Day. All of that good stuff.
Yeah. Every time you come in, I get so uncomfortable. You get right on top of me.
I'm sitting in my chair.
Don't come with the attitude already.
Whatever.
All right. Donisha, what's up? Donisha. So let me ask this, because we're going to get into the conversation in a second. Did you guys actually do anything on International Women's Day? Or how new is that?
It's I don't know.
Right, Marquita.
Hey, Patricia. Don't be like what? Hey, Danisha. Jessica. Everybody else I see chiming in. Hello.
Come up just a touch.
I need to come up some.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so I'm rocking my my lady on International Women's Day.
Oh, yeah, it was on purpose? Okay.
Huh?
It was on purpose? I know you did it on purpose.
Yeah.
All
Because
right.
I give. What's up, Charnel?
Hey, Chanel. Oh, no, I know that's my cousin. Hey, y'all. Carolina peoples.
Oh, what a light. I feel like I'm dark. Go ahead, talk to him, baby.
So, I don't know. As far as, I think this is something new that they added to the calendar for us to start celebrating. But hey, I'm a woman. Let's celebrate. All women. We do so many things. We are, we're just great creatures. I mean, we are.
All right, that's a little better. Okay.
That's a little brighter.
So let's get to the topic. Let's get to the topic. I'll tell you the topic, and then of course we always like to ask if anybody has any pressing thing they need to talk about before we get to the topic. But the topic tonight is: has your past, what is it? How we word it? I want to make sure I get the wording correctly.
How has your past shaped your appetite?
Okay, there we go. Mm-hmm. How has your past shaped your appetite? Mm-hmm. I'm gonna explain what that means in a minute, but I want to know, how has your past shaped your appetite? So before we get into that, is there anything pressing? You had any conversations with any friends of yours that we need to address? I know people send us stuff all the time that they ask us to address. I just want to make sure that we're not missing anything before I go into that particular topic.
Some of the stuff I can't really share yet because it's still kind of fresh and new. So, yeah, I have to wait till we get our footing on how we can word it to try to help others, because we're still in the process of helping others. But it's some unique topics that's going to be coming up for us to discuss.
All right. Okay, cool. All right, so how has your appetite shaped your, what is it? I keep getting it wrong.
How has your past shaped your appetite?
How has your past shaped your appetite? Let me explain one thing. I'm not talking about just sexual appetite.
Yes, because most times when people hear that, that's the first thing that pop up in your mind. Like, sexual appetite? No.
Right. I want to know, how has your life experiences in the past shaped your appetite for your relationship now? That's including sexual experiences in the past. That's including things that happened to you that were good or bad. And how has that shaped your appetite now, right?
Define appetite.
So appetite is your desires, the things you like, things you don't like. Because so the reality is that your body has a way of, or your experiences have a way of determining your body's appetite. If your body likes something, let's just go with food. If your body likes something, then it stores that memory that I liked that. The body likes that. So it will call for that it liked. It may even be a dormant like that you hadn't given your body for a while. But if it liked it, it's going to eventually call for it again because because it has memory, it's storage memory. If it does not like it, or didn't like it when it was exposed to it, it will remember that too.
Okay.
So that when in the future or in the current past, if you have a trigger of what it didn't like, a smell of a food your body didn't like, you'll get, sick in the stomach. Or whatever case may be. Your body says, we didn't like that.
Right.
Do not do that to us right now. So, but it has an appetite. It has an appetite that it reminds you of. Whether it reminds you I didn't like it, or it reminds you that I did like it. All right, let me read what is being said. So Patricia says, I won't lie, my past made me love the way I love. Now I appreciate it, and I thank God for the fiance I have now. Okay? Charnel says, both good and bad ways. It opened up my mind, changed the way I view things, both negative and positive. Even changed the way I parent my kids. All right, right. Here is why I ask you that. Because who I am dealing with as a spouse, who you're dealing with as a spouse, is shaped from our appetites. And say, for instance, if you have somebody, well, let me go back. So has shaped what our appetite is now. And I need to, in my opinion, I think it is advantageous, one, that you know where your appetites are. And that I think it's also advantageous that your partner knows what your appetite is. Yeah. Go ahead, what you want to say?
No.
You
I'm agreeing.
You gonna help me out?
I'm agreeing. Cedric. Hi,
You know what I mean?
Cedric. Yes.
I mean, so here's the bad stuff. Like, say if it's good or bad. So say if you have an appetite, good, right? That is not currently present in your relationship. So I'm gonna go the natural example, then I bring it to what I'm talking about.
Okay.
So say for instance, if you like Twinkies in the past, and Twinkies are not necessarily part of your relationship right now.
It haven't been for a while.
But what's up, Terry?
Hey.
That your body calls for Twinkies.
Yeah, I walked right past it today though.
You know what I mean? And then it's like you're hiding that because that's not a part of your
Now.
Your now, and that spouse don't know that every time you pass that Twinkie, you know, it's a whole problem for you.
Yeah.
But the reality is that you'd probably be more free if you at least shared
That this is a problem.
that this is actually a part of my appetite. You know what I mean?
My name's Marquita, and I like Twinkies.
But do you
Yeah, but
understand
I get
what
what you're saying. Yeah.
And so it goes like, say for instance, if a person has ever had an affair with a married person before the relationship, them Twinkies be
Twinkie in those.
Twinkie in
Don't
those.
they?
So suppose a person had an affair with a married person prior to their relationship they're in now, and they enjoyed the affair that they were in, and it satisfied whatever desire it was satisfying at the moment. The reality is that is now part of the appetite.
Yeah.
It may not be something that they practice,
Right. I was gonna say they may not put it into practice now because
but it's a part of the appetite.
they're good right now.
Because whatever that gave them, whether it was the
itch that needed to be scratched, the attention,
or the pleasure of the forbidden,
right. I was gonna say, or just the forbidden,
or the pleasure of the sneaking around, or whatever that case may be, it is now a part of your app. If you liked it, it's a part of your appetite, and it may be dormant like Twinkies. You had Twinkies, didn't have them many years, but given the right scenario,
I was gonna say, like, if somebody brought them to dinner for dessert.
What'd you say?
If somebody brought them Twinkies to my house for dinner for dessert.
Okay, bring it back to what I'm talking about. I can't understand this. We're going a little too far in the analogy. So I'm saying, I mean, given the right scenario in your body, you know, where either you don't have the attention that you want, or you're now bored in the current relationship that you're in. You need that spice of the forbidden, or whatever whatever that spice gave you, or they don't seem to
Pay you enough attention. Or
pay you enough attention.
Don't seem to please you. You're feeling. You're like there's an itch that needs to be scratched.
And then your body remembers, oh, we have a solution to that.
Yes. Remember this? Remember we did this?
Right.
Let's do that again.
You know what I mean? Because it's an appetite now. So
It's like your palate. It remembers certain things.
Right.
And it craves for it.
All right, so hold on. So Arlene says, it has made me desire more of what I had in the past. The good and the bad made me understand what I did not want and what I do want in my life now.
Correct.
Right.
That's good.
So, again, like, if you had, I mean, let's get off the intimacy or the relationship type thing. Say, for instance, if you were controlling your own money prior to this relationship, get into a relationship, now it's all combined, and you never, the appetite.
Consult.
Right, you didn't have to consult. The appetite is I do what I want to do when I want to do it with my own money.
Because it's my money.
That is my appetite.
Right.
Now I'm in a relationship with you and I want to be all good and I want us to be getting along and
Right.
we having fun and I don't want no trouble. But my appetite keeps coming up that I want to control my own money. I want to have to ask you for nothing.
Or consult you and
Or
say,
consult you
listen, this
about
is what I want
nothing.
to do. It's going to make the account look such and so and so, but we're good.
The problem with that
just wanna
is
swipe.
when I have never divulged to you that is my appetite. So then the next question comes, this is why I don't like to do it beforehand, because this question come up a little too soon. The next question is, how much of your appetite do you divulge to your partner? Yeah, Sandra says, see, I can't even fool with y'all on this topic because it's so real. Absolutely. Put that appetite on a diet. So that's the next question. How much do you divulge to your partner about your appetite? Suppose you had a threesome before. Was that a yawn or
That was a yawn.
expression of shock?
No, that was a yawn.
So suppose you had a threesome before, and you enjoyed it, and you were never exposed to it before, but then you became exposed to it, and you didn't know you would like it, but you did like it. And yet, you're in a relationship, and your body has called for that. Oh, yeah. But you've never divulged that that's been a part of that, or you're scared to, you know what I mean? But it is who you are, or it's a part of your appetite. Although you may keep it dormant, it is still a part of your appetite. So how much of that do you divulge? Cedric says, all of it, because you need to feed me. I agree. Some people say,
no, that ain't about. What if they don't want to do those threesomes no more? That was just something they tried.
what?
What if it was just something they tried and you're talking about you need to feed me?
No, what I hear what Cedric is saying is that if it's part of my appetite and you don't know it, then I'm living a whole, in my opinion, I'm not talking about Cedric. You know, a person can live a whole disconnected life from you.
Why is it disconnected?
Because I can't share that with you.
So that makes it disconnected.
Yeah.
That one thing.
Huh?
That thing that was a part of their past makes a disconnection.
Can't make a disconnection. Yeah, because I can't share that with you. So it's a secret. It's a secret in my mind. I can't share that with you. Now the question becomes, why can't you share it? We'll get into that in a second.
Okay.
All right, so let's see what everybody's saying so far.
They're shocked at the example.
All right, so Patricia says to share most of it. Charnel says the blood of Jesus. All right, so Cedric says, listen, I can't handle a threesome. Baby girl better gain some weight to pretend like it's an extra person in here.
Oh my God.
All right, so I mean, even if the partner that you're with can't handle whatever, we won't just zero in on the threesome, but they can't handle that you have an appetite for cigars, or you have an appetite for shopping. Here's another thing. You need to be honest with yourself, because if you were single for so long and you had so many partners because you're single for so long, so you have so many partners, so many relationships, you don't really realize you have an appetite for new relationships.
Oh, excuse me. Going through it.
You have an appetite for butterflies, and
Right, the excitement of new.
right, the excitement of new. You may not even realize that, but you have created an appetite of first dates.
Miss Arlene says, but after you revealed it to them, and
then what?
okay.
I'm just trying to help the saints. So
And then what?
probably nothing, but I mean, well,
A lot of people hold off because
That's what I'm gonna talk about.
they don't want to dive too deep into it. They don't want to be questioned. They want to leave it in their past. They may not be proud of it, so there may be some shame there.
Right.
Or they may feel you're gonna throw it back up in my face later for when you want something. You did it with such and such, so you did this. Why you can't try it with me? Well, I was a whole 20-something, 19 or teen years, whatever years old, and that's just something that was new and exciting, and I wanted to
Right.
try it. I don't like it.
and to me, it's not even about trying stuff, because I don't want us to park in that
On
one
the
parking
sexual-
space. My thing is that understanding your own appetite
Thank you.
and then being willing to divulge it to your partner, to me, helps the person that you're with understand who they are with. You know what I mean? Because suppose you did crack back in the day, or reefer. Because if you say back in the day, you have to say reefer. You can't say weed.
Refill pot.
Yeah, back in the day, it's reefer, right? So
Depends on your culture.
it depends on your culture, right? And so suppose you did that. Now that's a part of your appetite. It may be something that never comes up, but given the right,
Can it be a part of the appetite that you don't like though?
yeah, I'm talking about stuff you do like. Though.
Okay.
It could be, we'll talk about stuff you don't like in a minute, but it could be a part of your appetite that you did like in whatever past it was, and you didn't even realize that it came up. And it's like, whoa, I didn't even know
That was there.
And now and you didn't divulge it because of whatever shame, guilt, not jealousy, but a judgment, whatever is there.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't divulge it, and now you're acting a little funny.
Mm-hmm.
And your partner has no idea why you're acting funny.
What is wrong with you? Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that's because they don't know you, because you won't let them know you. Because you won't divulge things to them, and they don't know, that I'm dealing with a person who likes this or don't like this. So let's go to the negative.
Or they're recovering from whatever, or when this happens, they turn into a whole different person, but they try to keep that beast down and tamed.
And suppose it was a negative thing. Mm-hmm. You were exposed to something and it was negative, whether
you contracted something, or you went to jail for sticky fingers or something. I mean, anything.
Right.
Anything.
And then those things come up. Perhaps that's a part of your appetite now. And it's not a part of mine because I hate it. My body don't like it. Right?
Right.
But I never told you that because it was a part of my shame, a part of my guilt, or part of my judgment. Mm-hmm. And you're like, and you call for that. You know what I mean? Or we even have a conversation about red roses, and you don't know that my body can't even stand the word red or roses. Mm-hmm. But I never told you that. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So I have no idea really how to be in this relationship with you.
I think for the most part, like I saw Patricia said, we divulge most of it. I think some stuff...
Charnel said, nowadays we all need some weed.
So I think some folks say they divulge most of it because some stuff they feel it's not going to affect you, it's not going to affect our relationship, so I'm not even going to worry about it. Then again, you have situations like somebody contracted something, or they've been in jail, or you got a child from somewhere, stuff that can pop up, and or you got multiple children, or you have a whole different name. I know you by your alias, stuff like that that can pop up, and it's like I need to know the stuff that's gonna affect me. Then again, the person will feel like, okay, well I didn't tell you this because I didn't think it was gonna affect us or affect you, so that's why I didn't bring it up, or that's why I don't talk about it.
Right. Arlene says it sometimes makes them hold back or give up on that part of the appetite. Sometimes you can't tell that they've given up on that part of the appetite. So part of that is because of judgment within ourselves and shame and guilt and negative emotions attached to that thing. And so because you feel shame about it, or because you feel like the person will perceive you in a different light, because if you feel like a person will perceive you in a negative light, that's a part of your shame. Mm-hmm. Now you may project that onto them, but that's a part of your shame or your guilt or your judgment. What's up?
No.
And so that's usually why you don't divulge something to someone else, because of shame and guilt and judgment. Mm-hmm. And here's the next part: distrust. The distrust part of it is that perhaps you have
divulged everything.
I used to do this, and then the person responded to you.
Why you don't do that with me?
With not just that, or I'm not talking about that. Mm-hmm. The person responded to you with judgment, with shame, with guilt, or how in the heck could you do that? And that blah blah
and
blah.
I
blah.
would never be with somebody that do that, and now
or that did that.
All right, and he's like, oh my God, like now my marriage is in jeopardy because you know the truth,
right?
And all that.
And so now distrust is there,
and when it sits in. It can sit and stay.
And to be quite honest, distrust is not always because the person responded in a bad situation. Distrust could be because you felt more guilty now that somebody knows, or you felt more shame that now that somebody knows.
So now you feel like they're judging me. You feel like they're not gonna be able to trust me, or I can't trust that you won't tell nobody else. Right. Because what if you're venting to somebody and you share my indiscretion, or you share what I just said? Especially
if it's actually a part of your appetite, and if it happened. It's a part of your appetite, if you liked it.
Yeah. Ooh, that thing get deep.
Yeah.
That's a whole gamble to divulge.
So to say, okay, wait, let me go ahead and pay for 3 extra sessions. You walking heavy tonight.
Not walking heavy, Lord.
So yeah, I mean, so that's truth. Wherein, and see what happens with that. If distrust comes up, then we find a way to keep secrets. Then we find a way to hide in our cocoon that
yep.
I won't let you know that this is even part of my appetite.
Right. Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, because then that fear will weigh on you heavy.
Right.
Fear of divulging, fear of of being exposed. All of that it'll keep you in your shell.
Yeah, and so distrust, and I say that specifically distrust, because in a relationship, divulging things that are in the past. Some people say, just keep it in the past. I don't talk about my past. Keep it in the past. I don't talk about my past. My past is the past. It got nothing to do with you. I don't talk about my past. Now, I'm just stating my full personal opinion. I think that is unfair, because you're not allowing me to know who you are. Mm-hmm. But I am letting you know who I am, because I ain't that no more. Your past, I say so. Your past is the foundation of who you are. You say, well, I've changed. Okay, fine. I'm not even going into that conversation. You haven't changed, but fine. However, what made you did not change. You cannot change what happened to you. Mm-hmm. So the foundation of who you are will never change. Whatever happened to you, you can't change it. Mm-hmm. So you say, well, I don't talk about my past. What was happening is that you are refusing to allow the person to know who you are today. Who you are today is because you actually liked that then, and liked that then. And your body remembered that you liked it, and it will perhaps call for it again. You know why people cheat or look at other women or look at other men? Is because they did it before they got in a relationship they ain't know. And your body says, we still like men, or we still like women. So when I see a woman, my body remembers that I like a woman, and so she catches my eye. Or when you see a man and your body remembers that you like the man, it's your appetite. It catches your eye. Now, you may choose to do something different than you did before, but it is a part of your appetite. Mm-hmm. Or suppose you are a man who used to be in a relationship with other men, and you say, I'm no longer that. Now I'm delivered. And now I like only women. Mm-hmm. Well, the reality is that, fine. But that is a part of your appetite. Mm-hmm. And if you don't ever tell me that, and yet you always seem to squirm when we get around certain people, and I have no idea.
That you had this whole war going on the inside of you.
Right. Okay. All right, what we got? But you can't make it better, or at least try. But you can't make it better, at least try. All right, good. Larry says, what happens if you're significant? I'm talking fast. Am I talking fast?
Slow down.
All right, Larry says, what happens if your significant other doesn't agree with your appetite?
Agree? Or just doesn't like it? Just doesn't like your appetite.
Same thing. So let's go with that. If your significant other doesn't agree or
doesn't like
your appetite, fine.
That's it. That's just, it is what it is. Now, that's all left. Now, what do we do with that? How do we continue to go forward and grow and continue in our future if this is your appetite? I don't like it. What's the compromise?
Well, it didn't have to be a compromise. So
hey,
hold on, Erica. So Cedric said that's the question of the day. Which one is the question of the day? I want to make sure I don't. Okay, what if your significant other doesn't agree with it? It is not you divulging it, is helping them understand who you are. They may not agree with it or like it, and that's fine, right? That's fine if they don't. You want your face not be crumpled or something?
It's under your arm that's crumpled, Joker.
Oh, so that's fine that your significant other doesn't agree with it. But now it's something that you don't have to hide. Now they may, now they are aware that this is a part of who you are, and you all have had that conversation and have agreed that it is a part of my appetite. You don't agree with it, and it's okay.
But then again, how does your significant other help you curb that appetite?
But you don't have to curb it. I mean, you don't have to necessarily.
Well, then that person will have to make a decision daily to not give in to that appetite, and that could be a war. Because when you are warring on the inside, sometimes you can be irrational. Sometimes you can be irritated because you got a lot of stuff going on the inside, and trying to remain who you are, who you were before you divulge this appetite and this information, and you know your companion does not care for that. It's like, I probably wouldn't even got with you if I'd known this, who knows?
If I'd known that you weren't okay with this appetite?
Right.
But you gotta think about it.
No, if I'd known this was your appetite, we probably wouldn't be together. But now that we are together and you have told me this, how we go on? Because it's you that I love.
That's the start. Mm-hmm. The start is that when a person shares with you their appetite, it should not be met with judgment.
And I also think that it should be divulged that, a lot of stuff should be talked about during the friendship and courtship.
So
courtship.
Put a pin there. Say friendship in a minute.
Okay.
It should not be met with judgment. Because you got to think about it. Because some people think, well, it's an obligation. Now, I like this and I'm with you. You got to, you got to help me out with this. But you got to think about it. I'm going to the extreme. If you liked crack and you shared, hey, that was a part of my appetite and it's a part of my appetite. And I say, I don't like crack. I don't do crack. Crack is whack.
Because you make too much money to ever smoke crack, all right? Crack is whack.
Right. I don't feel you're obligated to make sure I...
Don't smoke it?
No, I fulfill that appetite of smoking crack.
No.
You see what I'm saying? So now you say, well, I like my toes sucked. And that's just, I'm craving. That's craving. It's craving. You're not now, and you don't like that. Now it's not your obligation to make sure that I get that because
I'm glad you said that.
Because it's the same situation for crack. I don't like it, and it's now not my obligation to make sure you get it just because you have that spontaneous urge of crack all of a sudden every now and then.
Okay, Cedric says so. Now we have to figure out how to live unfulfilled or satisfied.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That is the question.
Yeah.
What do we do? What do we do?
You just said it. You
have to figure
those things.
Partner,
okay, go ahead.
Ooh. Get it out.
No. Go ahead.
You and your significant other, yes, you have to figure out how to navigate the waters of living in a compromising state, which we do all the time because we're two different people. We have two different ways of doing things and living, period, and just being. So you will have to figure out, give a little, take a little. Honestly, we don't have the ultimate answer, but that's what you're going to have to do. What works for us in this marriage, knowing this information, or in this relationship, knowing this information, this is put on the table. What can we do to help keep us going and navigating these waters?
Right. Now, some of those things, like, again, say for instance, if your appetite was having an affair, are you now living unfulfilled because your partner will not allow you to have an affair? No. So which means that there's some things that are of your appetite that are not necessary.
Some people, in that case, some people will go the extra mile of being different persons just to. I said some people will go the extra mile to be a different person, wigs and costumes and meeting, spicing up
their... Try to meet your appetite?
Correct. To try to meet the appetite, just spicing up that curiosity or the newness or whatever to kind of build an attraction for that person. Some people can roll with that, some people can't.
So the point is that if you have an appetite and you share it, and it's not just sex. I want y'all to understand I'm not just talking about sex. But whatever that appetite is, appetite could be I like to watch movies all the time. I'm a movie buff, that is my appetite, and I like watching movies. And the other person may say, I don't like watching movies. I only like watching episodes, series. But that is part of your appetite. That is part of who you are. So it's not all of a sudden they have to satisfy your appetite of wanting to watch movies, or it's a deal breaker.
You can't, right? You can't obligate the other person to satisfy your appetite and it be a deal breaker. That's just not wise. That's not fair. It's not right. Because now you're forcing your likes and dislikes on another person.
Like this one girl.
Hey, Marcella.
What's up, Marcella? This one girl, she eats flour as a snack. I won't call her name. Usually on my team at school. But like, you know, I may have pistachios as a snack, just, you know, just randomly eat them. Somebody else may eat now and later's, or somebody else, like Marquita may just have Twinkies. We just eating it, having them eating our little snacks. She's eating flour. Like all-purpose, self-rising flour. You know what I mean? And so obviously it's an appetite for her.
Clog arteries.
Exactly. But she may go into the relationship and
right. So I was thinking that too. Flour or cornstarch?
Flour. And she may go in a relationship and not divulge that because of the shame and because of the
fatness,
the embarrassment. She's that big.
Poor thing.
I mean, the embarrassment and the shame and all that. But that's part of her appetite. You know what I mean? She may sneak it. You know what I mean? Because she don't want to divulge that she does that. But it's not his thing to make sure she satisfies that. You know what I mean?
We have some people. That's a spirit. Somebody else said, okay, Miss Terry said she has a blood deficiency.
I don't know what's wrong with the girl, but I'm gonna tell her that though. I'm glad you shared it. But I'm just trying to make a point.
His nurse, so that could be an indicator.
Yes, I'm glad you said that. She has a blood deficiency. Okay, so blood deficiency means what does she need? She needs water, or she needs iron. Anyway,
something.
But
just ask Google.
Anyway, the point is that could happen where you're not obligated to fulfill that thing. But I do believe, iron. Okay, I thought so. I do believe though that it is advantageous and beneficial for the growth of that relationship that we share what all that was before me and what all this was before you. So I know what I'm dealing with, and then I'm not walking around with any secrets because of my shame or whatever like that. If I've decided to be in a relationship with you, if I've decided to commit to you, now I'll go back to friendships. I think that we're in these relationships, and you go out on these blind dates or first dates and all that, or you're just getting to know a person. And it's the 8th date. You know, they tell you, okay, well, you should ask, do you want kids, or do you actually want to get married? Where do you want to live? You know, what do you want to do in life? Do you have siblings? And do you have webbed toes? Whatever. Those things are cute, but those things doesn't really help you to be in a relationship with them. You know what helps you be in a relationship with them successfully? Understanding the actual human that you are in a relationship with is understanding their past that has shaped their current appetite. Because whether you want to have kids or not, it's cool to know, but that's really not going to help me to know that you don't like being kissed on your neck because of what happened long years ago. And it could not even be no molestation, no rape. It could have been the guy you were with kissed you on your neck all the time, and he was the guy that, you can't stand him. He's the guy that cheated on you and da-da-da. So every time that happens, boom, there's a trigger for you. But you've never told me that. So soon, we're in a relationship 3 months down the line, and I kiss you on your neck, and you slap me.
Or that, I used to have eating disorder, or I used to like to eat Twinkies a whole lot, and I never told you that I had a issue with eating Twinkies a whole lot, and then you find out about it, and I walk past a Twinkie in the store, and you see me.
Can we
twitch.
please let this go? Keep going back to the Twinkies.
I just need you to understand this is real for me.
So that's the point I'm making. You know, so those questions are cute, but you're not really getting anywhere. Now, of course, I don't say as soon as you come in to the first date, you start asking about, you know, your past experiences that has helped shape your appetite. Mm-hmm. You don't really have those conversations. You're going to always ask those, in my opinion, selfish, surface questions until friendship happens.
Like when you're courting?
Whenever.
I'm saying as far as the the surface question, that's during the courting stages. Is that what you're? Yes.
Well, the first, couple of moments. Mm-hmm. But I think you know really want to be a friend with somebody. You know really want to be connected to that person, or share a life with that person in some way. And I think I think most people skip the friendship and they go straight to lovers. And because the friendship allows us to share our life prior to each other without the judgment, without the shame, without the guilt, or with the shame. And you can share your shame, and I cannot judge you when you share about your shame or your guilt or whatever the case may be. That friendship is vital because that's what the relationship stands on. When you're in love now and you don't like the person, that friendship is important. Like, say, for instance, you can no longer be intimate with that person for maybe a year because of whatever illness or whatever situation may have been the case. And I'm not just talking about because you are in the military and you're deployed. I'm talking about there's a situation where you're right there with them and you cannot be physical with them intimately. And because there's a friendship there, and that part is not there, I can hold on to you and be okay and take care of you because of the friendship. But if it's only lovers, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to revert to what we have. We don't have a friendship. We have an obligation to one another. Mm-hmm. I'm your husband, so I'm obligated to be your husband.
And that's it. Mm-hmm.
And that's it. But I need to go take care of, this physical intimacy. I need to be humping on somebody because I ain't going to be in this with you and I'll have that because that's really all it is. That's all it was because I don't really have no friendship. There's nothing to fall back on because we were just lovers. Although we 15 years in, but we were really just lovers. Roommates and lovers, and we did stuff together now. And I love you on that wise because I'm not your friend.
Or I don't really like you.
Right, and I'm not your friend. So I'm not going to deal with all that because I'm not your friend. Or you never told me any of that about you. And all of a sudden now my life is totally twisted and adjusted to that thing that's happening with you. And you never told that to me because, you didn't want to divulge that or whatever. Now I'm having to live with that, and you never told that to me.
And what does that do?
Somebody may be like, "Hey,
I'm out."
Yeah,
I'm be the deal breaker.
I'm out because because that may make a person feel deceived.
Yeah.
That may make a person feel
especially you got a whole different name. Lord.
Yeah, what else have you haven't told?
Right? What else are you hiding? Mm-hmm.
Especially if it was something that you could have told, not something you didn't know. You didn't know,
Right.
But something that you could have told that you didn't tell. It's like, what else? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And why didn't you tell me?
And that's when the distrust starts to really settle in.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Now there are things, in relationships where people have divulged stuff to their partner, and as they say, they just throw it up in their face, or they felt bad, judged. Or they felt judged, or whatever, and they like, man, I'm not telling you nothing else. Now let's talk about that.
What do you do when that is the case?
Rosemary.
Hi. When that is the case, what do you do? A lot of people shy away from divulging anything because they either fear that it may happen or they have experienced it.
What may happen?
That the other person may, quote unquote, throw it up in their face, or they may use it against them to try to get what they want. and bring it in, bring it up and try to hold it over their head to judge them and make them feel. Remember now, you ain't worth two niggas now because you did such a so and so, so you can't do this and you can't do that. Or that will cause people to draw back and shy away and just shut everything down or shut down. So what do?
Well, you brought up another scenario that they try to manipulate you with the information that they know. That's a whole nother situation.
But it happens.
It does happen. They try to manipulate you with the information that they know. Well, so let me say this first. We need to own our own shame, our own guilt. Carissa, what's up, Carissa?
Hey, Carissa.
We need to own our own shame, our own guilt, our own judgments, and
our own actions.
Our own actions that we project on others. You told me that, and you don't ever want me to say that to you or ever want me to bring that up to you, not because I made you feel shameful or embarrassed or I held it over your head. It's you feel shame.
I was going to say,
or you are ashamed of it, or you are embarrassed of it, and so forth and so on. So we got to own our own feelings, right? And if the person still doesn't help you in feeling any good way about it, and they have earned your distrust in sharing and divulging things to them, you have to decide if you're committed to that relationship or not.
Onto that person.
That
person may need to mature and grow.
And if you are committed to that person or committed to that relationship, then you must decide daily to freely give them your trust.
And be vulnerable.
Here is how I see trust. Trust, people often say trust is earned, not given. I disagree. I believe that distrust is earned. Trust is given, not earned. Because even if you have earned my distrust and you keep doing the same thing, you keep earning that I don't like, you keep earning my distrust. Years of you earning my distrust. Today, I may decide I'm going to trust you. You didn't earn it. I give it to you. Trust is given. When you meet a person for the very first time, you're on your first date, they could be a serial killer. Nothing they've done to earn your trust, but you've sat down with them. You've given them your trust. You've sat down with them in a restaurant, and they may poison you a drink. You have no idea. Or they may be waiting for you to get in the cab or the Uber with them, and they may take you out. But you've given them your trust. They haven't earned it. All they said, hey, met you on Bumby. Was it Bumpy?
Bumblebee?
The swipe thing? Bumble, whatever it is. And you like how they look. They didn't earn anything. You simply gave them your trust. Now they can earn your distrust because of violating in whatever way they violated. They've earned now your distrust. So here's what I say, that if you're with a person and for whatever reason, now some of it, they didn't earn your distrust. Some of it is your own stuff that you're dealing with. But perhaps if they have actually earned your distrust by trying to manipulate you with the knowledge that they know, or trying to hold over your head with the knowledge that they know, and yet you're still in this relationship and you're committed to this relationship, then you have to decide every day to give them your trust or not, with the hopes and the prayer and the work of them growing. So that's the whole topic of change and not change. I said I wasn't going to go there, but I'll go there anyway because it helps make sense. People often say, you got to change or else. I believe, and maybe some of you all have never heard me say this, and I want you to hear my take on this. I believe people don't change. People usually hear that and think negative. People don't change. People don't change. People don't change. People are always who they are. But I don't look at that as negative. People grow. People adjust. Growth is slow and it's over time. Because
and adjustments are Temporary.
And adjustments are temporary. You don't want a person to just adjust. You want them to grow. Adjustments may be the runway to their growth, but you don't want them to just adjust. Most people adjust because you don't like this about them, or you don't like that about them, or you don't like that appetite, or whatever, and they adjust to you. But them adjusting to you is temporary because that's not who they are. So just like an alignment, it's going to go back off of alignment because that's not who they are. And they're gonna eventually do and be who they are because they have no other choice.
Because that's who they are innately.
Right, and they've adjusted to you. But growth is saying that I still am that person, but today I choose to make a growth decision when I would have chosen to make a unwise or dead decision in the past. I'm still the same person. Because if I'm changed, which means that I'm totally a different person. When you ask somebody, you need to change, you're saying to them, be somebody else.
Right.
I can't be nobody else. You're saying to them, change. Like I always give this scenario. Like, move over that way, I'm gonna point to that plant. See that plant? If you say, I want you to change, plant, that plant cannot change because it's always going to be who it is. But what you're basically saying is, I want you to change. I want you not to be that plant no more. Come over and now be this plant. Like, I need you to be a new plant. That's what changes. Be somebody else. Or that plant is going to be who it is, and it has the potential and the possibility to actually grow and be more stronger and knock off some old leaves, knock off some dead branches of itself, and grow new branches. But it's the same plant. So you are the same person. You do not change.
At your core.
He ain't gonna change. She ain't gonna change. But you do want them to grow, right? If they've always had a temper and they fly off the handle, that's who they are.
I was like, that's going to be in them. They just have to make conscious and wise and intentional
growth decisions. Now, that person now is hit with a same scenario that they would have went off and the temper would have been crazy before. Is hit with that same scenario that would set them off. Decides today, I am that same person, and that still bothers me, but I'm not going to allow my temper to go off the handle. Today I make a growth decision, and I'm just gonna walk away from you. He changed. No, I've grown.
Right.
And I'm the same person because I really want to knock the hell out you.
Right. But wisdom says this is a consequence of my actions. This will be the ripple effect of the choice that I made. Therefore, I don't feel like going through all that, so I'm just gonna walk away.
And having
Even though I need this itch scratch, because I really need you to feel this fist,
And having that conversation is growth. Not change, it's growth. All right. So anyway, I said all that to say that you have to decide. I mean, that's what relationship is about. It's a risk. You have to decide. Today, I'm going to give you my trust.
Yeah.
All right. Carissa says environment and circumstances causes people to evolve and trust. Yeah. Trust is a daily choice if I'm gonna give it to you or not. Now you can earn my distrust, but if I'm gonna give it to you or not is my decision daily. It's not I trusted you. Trust is always present. Trust is I give it to you today. Now you didn't earn it, or you earned my distrust, and perhaps I'm gonna sit in my distrust of you. Because today I may decide I'm not giving you my trust. And tomorrow I may decide I'm not giving you my trust. Now, you keep deciding that in your relationship, because of an appetite situation, you keep deciding that you are weakening the relationship. And perhaps their manipulation towards you that's causing the distrust is also weakening the relationship.
I was going to say that, and that will hurt the foundation. Because now, like you said, who are you? I don't know who you are anymore. So now the foundation is starting to crumble. And will it last?
Right. And so that goes back to the whole topic of tonight. How has your past affected your appetite, right? Your past has affected your appetite. Your appetite is your appetite. And I think that if you're unwilling to have those conversations, we ain't talking about that and all that, you are stunting the growth of your relationship.
Yeah.
Now, of course, go ahead.
No, I'm trying. I give you.
Huh?
I'm trying to word it.
Of course, your past appetite is not always a definitive indicator of what you would do today. It's not automatic.
Okay.
If you cheated before, you're gonna cheat.
It's just the potential.
It is the potential.
Okay.
It is there. You know, it's not automatic. But it is important that you know that. It's important, and I say, now y'all can disagree with me, I say it's important that they know that. Oh, I used to cheat my behind off. I think that's important for them to know that. I'm not talking about me. You look at me like, yeah, wait, I didn't know that. No, I'm talking about me. But I think it's important that your partner knows that, because they need to know, hey, that's actually
Our party.
A
And like
party.
some people are flirts, huge flirts. Their significant other could be like, oh, okay, that's not too bad. I'm cool with that. They have to,
right, exactly.
and they have to know that about themselves. You need to know that, whatever you need to know about your companion, and then y'all need to figure out, well, how are we gonna deal with this?
Right.
Every relationship is different because the people in it are different. How are we gonna respond? I'm gonna tell you, this is how I respond when I hear stuff like this, or this is how I respond to trauma or tragedy or news that can affect me personally. This is how I'm going to respond. I'm going to tell you this so that you be aware when you divulge something to me. This is how I might respond. So you still may have a little fear there with sharing something with me, but I'm just letting you know so you won't be surprised.
Yeah. Or if you used to be a whole whore,
Monger.
and you know you used to be a whore,
Monger.
and it's like, don't not say that to me. Especially you know you used to be a whore. You know what I mean? And you just you had all these type of women or men, whatever kids, whoever was the whore. Because therein is an appetite.
Yeah, because there's the frequency. There's the different. I need to feel like I'm with a different person.
Or it could be the attention.
The attention.
Because being a whore could be just because I got attention. Or it could be the practice of being able to pull somebody. You know
Like
what I mean?
I don't want to. I just want to see how far I could go. I know how far to take it.
Yeah, I think all of that. And again, once again, I think to not share, because that's not past, is to, especially if you've decided to be in this relationship with this person, is to stunt the growth of your relationship. Because perhaps when you told me that, I had a feeling of jealousy. I have a feeling of insecurity. And it's not, you didn't make me jealous, it make me feel insecure. I had a feeling of jealousy. I had a feeling of insecurity. Of judgment when you first told me. And then if I bring it back up, you know, years later, it's like, we ain't talking about that because we had a whole blowout last time. And it's like, well, you're not allowing the relationship to grow.
And that that means that the people have to grow.
Right.
They have to grow in their vulnerability. They have to grow in strengthening their minds, strengthening their understanding, in the understanding of one another, of themselves. They have to grow in the trust in their relationship. I mean, that's a lot.
It is, yeah. All right, it's 9:30. It's time to go. It's time to go. Oh, now you saying, hey.
I've been trying to hang on, y'all. I'm tired. I done had some chamomile tea.
So yeah. So anyway, share this. And what I really want you to do is have some conversation with your spouse,
Y'all
or
pray first, because we don't
not
want
just
to be the
spouse,
cause.
your companion. Have some conversations.
Pray before y'all do, because we don't want to be the cause of a blowout.
Tell them what's going on with you. Tell them what type of appetites you really, really have. Stop living these secrets. Stop living these secrets. Stop living these secrets. Then secrets create deception. Secrets create sneakiness. Secrets create just a foundation of disconnect.
It's shaky, yeah.
Because you simply will not allow yourselves to be open, transparent, honest, and vulnerable with one another.
And always, make sure you, when you have these conversations, have it at times where you both agree and can be, agree to be calm, understanding, open-minded, and receptive, so that you can actually pay attention to what they're saying and don't crucify.
Right. All right. Good night.
Good night. Have a good evening. Good rest of your week.